Hello, everyone. My name is Lynn McEntee. I'm your humble host of Youth Connections Cafe, and Youth Connections Cafe is hosted by Moksha Canada Foundation and BellLet'sTalk. Before we get started, I would like to do a land acknowledgement on a virtual platform where we are today. I would like to begin by acknowledging the Indigenous people of all the lands that we're on today. While we meet today on a virtual platform, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the importance of the lands, what we call home. So thank you for allowing us to be here today. And thank you to BellLet'sTalk for allowing us to be here today in Moksha Canada Foundation. Youth Connections Cafe is really a chit-chat and informal drop-in sessions and sometimes formalized sessions where we have a guest expert who will be meeting and discussing mental health awareness with our attendees. Today, in particular, we have some guests who are going to be speaking on their topic of conversation, which is their expertise in their field of study, and more importantly about newcomer experiences, visitor experiences, and settlement experiences in Canada. I certainly was an immigrant myself and experienced, different things with my family as we immigrated here. But it's very important to address the mental health concerns of youth on this platform and informally as well, moving forward on perhaps techniques that people can use or access resources and such. A little bit about Moksha Canada Foundation. We are about that. We're about engaging our youth. We're about engaging all ages, intergenerational programming. But this one in particular is for Youth Connections Cafe to focus on mental health awareness and mental balance. And we all need that in our work and our families and anything that we do in our lives. So Moksha Canada Foundation, please follow us on social media. And if you have an idea for programming, we'd be open to a conversation about that as well. I have some amazing guest speakers today, and I'm going to introduce firstly Vidhi Patel, who is a website and graphic designer, and she'll be talking about her experiences with us, informally and perhaps formally as well too. We have Swapnil Nikam, and he is a global business management marketing postgraduate from Humber College. So I want to welcome you both today on this virtual platform to Youth Connections Cafe to have a conversation with our listeners and viewers and myself to educate me along the way. So thank you very much for being here today. Thank you. So I have a few questions that I've actually issued to our guests. We can bridge out into other parts of the conversation, but this just kind of gives us a platform for launching. And I'll just start with the first one. And if you're okay, Vidhi, I'm going to start with Swapnil at the moment. I know that we've had a chance to have a conversation before, and this is a new opportunity for Swapnil on this platform, and we'd like to welcome him in.
Yeah, sure. You can start with Swapnil.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So the simple question that we had for you before is, why did you come to Canada, and tell us about yourself? So 2 questions in one.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Lynn.
Sure.
Like it's like a privilege to and get all the youth get educated about what's in Canada and how is Canada. So hi guys, I'm Swapnil. I came in Canada back in 2021. That was the peak COVID season. And all the Indian fellows, you must be knowing about the concern. COVID was at the peak. There were around 300,000 cases per day in India, and it was very hard enough to get yourself growth in India. So I made a decision to come to Canada to pursue my post graduation in Humber College. So I completed my post graduation course in marketing management. I completed this April, and I like Canada. Choosing Canada was because of few reasons. Because of the multiculturalism, Canada has different religions. Canada has different people around the world. They are Asians. They are from Africa. Many different nations, and also Canada is known for its high quality education. And the opportunities that Canada offered me during the challenging time, I can say COVID as a challenging time. That was the one key thing that brought me up to Canada, and this is my journey.
Wow, that's incredible. How long did that process take you? It wasn't a question I issued, but how long?
Yeah. So overall planning and execution of the took around 8 to 10 months. Yes. I started back in 2020 August, and it started with giving the IELTS exam, applying for colleges, getting their letter, the letter which is issued by the college. Then we have to file a visa, then making some travel arrangements, planning to stay over here, so looking for accommodation over here, and everything takes up time. And it took around like 10 months for me doing everything. And I finally got in Canada in August 2021. And I can say, like, in 2 days, I'm going to be officially completing my 2 years in Canada.
That's amazing. That is awesome. That's a great story, great introduction. Thank you for sharing that. And I think it's important to reference the time period as well, because it can be quite a journey preparing everything and making that launch. It takes a lot of courage, yeah, for sure. So I have great admiration for that. And I wondered if we can include Vidhi in the conversation, and then we can to other questions and sort of offset each other in conversation. Vidhi, I wonder the same thing, actually, if you could share with us your story. Why did you come to Canada? And yeah.
I'm just come Canada in the February 2023.
Yeah.
And I never think to come in Canada, but I found one person in Canada, and we both fell in love, and we get married, and now I am here, and I'm very glad to here, and I enjoying Canada's nature and everything, and I love the Canada.
Wow, that's a story in itself as well, too, right?
Yeah, this is a very short story because I just come in the just February, just like 6 months.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I never expect that I am coming here or now I'm here. It's very nice for me.
That's incredible. I mean, so you have a 2-year journey from Swapnil and yourself is sort of about the 6-month period. Wow. That's very interesting. And you're both very at ease with yourselves. I can see, obviously you come with a great deal of experience in life. And I think that's very important to recognize when, coming to a new place. And I think other people that you work with, it's important to recognize that you come with a whole history there. A huge amount of experience. So that's really neat. You mentioned the nature part, and maybe at some point we can get into that about just in terms of mental health balance and how important that is, as we move through our journey and whatever it is that we're doing. So Vidhi, maybe I'll just go on to you then, and then we'll jump over to Swapnil. What is your area of study?
You tell to me?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, I'll start with you, and then we'll.
Sure.
Yeah.
I studied the web design and graphic designing from the India, but when I start the graphic and web designing, I complete my interior designing first, and then I jump to start with my new journey with the web designer, and I start to learn from the one the class online class and all, and now I'm become a web designer or developer, and it's a nice journey to become a web designer because we create many items in a different way, and we also put our mindset and our whole things in the posters and everything that you see. It's a very creating job, and I like, and I also think about going more in this particular field, and I try to find some university over here in Canada, and maybe I do some post graduation or something over here. I just think about that, not sure, but yes.
That's really a question, Swapnil, for Vidhi. Are you at this
no
moment?
question, but graphic designing itself is a very creative job. I can assume like working on the computer screen 24/7, and the creative fields are when we speak to customers or when we speak to clients, they have their edits and they have many, many expectations. And a creative guy has to set his own creative on the side and has to work according to the client. So that's actually a very
Absolutely.
difficult job.
Very
uh,
difficult.
and and finalizing the edit, I know it takes around 1,000, 2,000 edits for a final draft to be made.
It does.
But yeah, getting that successful thing for the client, it's like the best thing for a graphic designer. And I know, my friend used to work as a graphic designer, and she used to yes, she used to say me about, oh my god, this client is so bad, this client is so on the moods and all. So I can assume like that's a very tough thing.
Yeah, it's very tough thing when you compete with your client and your mindset with the design. It's very tough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Vidhi, how tough is it then? What's the difference then between interior design and web design, and in terms of you and your adjustments to that? Because at client based, yes, but in
Yeah, both are the client based
yeah,
job. Yeah.
yeah,
But in the interior designing, you compete with the client, then workers and all people, labors, and you compete with the all people. And when you talk about the web and graphic designing, you just compete with your the client, not anyone other, right?
mhm,
So it's very easy to go with the web design and the graphic designer, because it's like you can find the work from home also in the this designer job.
mhm.
But when you work with the interior designer, you must be go in the site and you measure all the things, and it's very hectic actually.
I was
Yeah.
thinking, yeah,
Yeah, and it's important to compete with your client and their mindset, what they need and what they don't need, what their particular mindset for their house and all. So there are too much things in the interior designing, but yeah, now I'm happy with the my job in a web and graphic designing.
and you're very good at it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
we were
thank
talking
you.
about
You know that
yes, and
you
we were
always
talking.
work with me.
Very much, and it's important to shine the light on people's work. I believe, and because it's you, it's what you bring to the table. It's your skill level and your creativity. So I think I have great admiration for that also from
Yeah,
interior design to web.
every day you learn new things from your clients also,
Yeah.
and you also learn from the different mindset, with people with the different
Mhm.
mindset. So you learn every day new things.
Yeah.
So it's very creative job.
Before we jump over to Swapnil, would you mind just speaking to how different that is mentally, I guess, in terms of professional mental health balance, frustration when working in the other field of interior design as opposed to web and graphic design? What do you do to balance yourself and shut out the world, so to speak, so that you can focus in on the task at hand and the goals at hand?
Okay, so balance between the mind to head. I do the exercise and going the evening walk with the good weather over here,
Mm,
and
yeah.
try to eat healthy food. And when we have a too much load of work, I also watch the series and movies to relax my mind.
Mm.
And yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds like you have a grip, a grasp of what you need to do for you personally.
yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Thank you for
Good weather
sharing.
is very important to fresh your mind.
Yes.
And
And
Canada is known for its good
in
weather.
Canada, we have too much weather. Like in one day, you see the rain, then the cold, then the sunrise, sunset. Oh my God! You
Yes.
face many weather in a one day.
And definitely, changes ecologically for sure. There used to be consistency in the seasons, but no, not so much anymore. So just, yeah, on health, that can be challenging as well, right? Yeah, as we were talking
Yes.
about. And Swapnil, about yourself as well, if you could speak about your area of study, and then we can branch into conversations with Vidhi as well. Yeah.
Surely. So I did my bachelor's in marketing actually. I was from you can say from my SSC and HSC. Like during my schooling period, I was into science. So for sure, my family was like, you either you're gonna be an engineer or doctor.
Yeah.
But I choose none. I chose management studies. I did my bachelor's in management studies back in from the Mumbai University. But in marketing, because I felt like I'm more of a marketing person. I don't know why, but yeah, I chose it. But then side by side, like as a freelancing, I have to do events. So cumulative, I have a freelancing experience of 2 years during my studies back in my home country. But I came over here to get a chance to get a hit in Canada, and I chose marketing specialization because I've done that. I know some more of it, but I want to learn it on a global scale, like how actually marketing works, how the B2B section, B2C section works. So I chose marketing as my specialization for 1 year, and 1 year it was general studies. But I'm passionate more on events. Like my true enthusiasm lies in the field of events and production. You can say like 10 years down the line, my goal would be to get myself ready for a concert. I'm more into social events, so I would prefer myself to be handling a big concert for a big artist or a celebrity. Talking on the mental health, maintaining mental health in Canada is is the is the most important thing, I'll tell you. Because as Vidhi was saying about the day-to-day weather changing, in a day we see like 3 to 4 seasons at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, maintaining the good mental health lies with our body. So fitness, exercise, it's pretty sure very important for mental health. Now coming to the new people, the new youth who are coming to Canada, I would suggest you the homesickness, and because you're leaving your family apart and you're coming here to create your own journey, you're starting your new family or new friends or new aspect of your career back in Canada, like over here in Canada, and that too with your own self. So I would suggest if you feel lonely, if you feel isolated, just stay connected with your family members. Like virtually is the only option you have. So just stay connected with your family and friends who are in back in home country. Create new friends, have some good memories during your college life, and engage yourself into activities that bring joy to yourself. Actually,
Mm.
for me, as I'm an extreme extrovert person, and I love scenic cities and like the scenic beauty of a city. I like the Toronto skyline. So once in a week or twice in a week, I just go to island during the summer days because I know in winter it's going to be very hard. So in summer days, I go on island to see the scenic view. Um, I talk to people like networking, and I can just talk to anyone with any topic. That's one of my skills that I have developed after I completed my 12th and all. Because before that, I was very introvert. So don't make yourself uncomfortable with anything. Over here, no one's gonna judge you. It's your life. You're gonna start it. You're gonna create it. So make sure you are on the right path. The path is actually the path. It's right or wrong. The destiny actually defines your path. So make sure you take a step, you initiate, you start doing things, and everyone's gonna fall into your place. So just get ready and stay excited.
Wow. Wow. Any questions, Vidhi, or comments on Swapnil's mantra?
No, I don't have any questions.
Wow. I'm impressed actually with both of you because it very is a personal journey, right? And we know what we all need. And I like that you're both willing to step outside the box and share that with other people as well too, because it does take a lot of courage and mindfulness for yourself and what works for you and what doesn't. But trying new things is always very interesting in any capacity. I know if you were to look at your younger self, would you have thought that you are where you are today? Both of you. That's, no, probably not. Or would you say yes? What do you think?
So, like, no one knows what's gonna happen tomorrow. Actually, if you say me in back in 2021, where I was about to give my final exam for the whole bachelor, Like I was enrolled into a 3 years bachelor's in BMS, management studies. I didn't like the Indian government didn't let us like let all the students give the exam because of COVID. COVID was at peak, so the exam which was scheduled in April, we had a huge lockdown as the pandemic was at at a different level in the initial period. So we gave a final exam actually in October, and that was virtually that was an online exam. So we still remember uh, we were about to give something, we were about to do something, we were about to complete our education, but no, it took like more than 6 7 months extra for us. So no one's gonna know what is going to happen tomorrow. So like you
Yeah.
should be planned, but not that much planned enough. Like the things
Just
are
enjoy
way
your
too far for
today's
you.
day and go out and enjoy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
because that's what Swapnil said. No one can judge what happen on the tomorrow life. So just enjoy your today,
Mhm.
right?
And I love that's why I love all of these experiences so much. And when you referenced event planning and all those things, because it's ever changing, and you're getting to meet so many wonderful people, and you learn and grow as you go, and you're morphing into this new person each and every time, because you're learning all these skills. And I think we all carry a toolkit with us in life, but we sharpen the tools at different times when we need them.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just being ready for change, as needed, never knowing what tomorrow brings. Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. I can tell definitely event planning for sure is in your on your path, in your path. Swapnil for sure. I know, and having worked behind before off camera, you can see it. Actually, you shine. You definitely shine in that area for sure. And yeah, but marketing is interesting because it crosses over into the work that
Yeah.
you do. So any producer knows that they have to do everything from A to Z and everything in between to prepare an event, right? But
True.
at some point you will delegate, to others, who are
Yeah.
good at that. But the ability to be able to do all of those things is so important as an event planner or producer, right? Yeah. Oh, very cool. So I'm just going to jump over then. So what are some of the challenges then that you've had faced, whether it be through studies, work? I love that you're both very positive, and but obviously we've all dealt with challenges in life, and maybe in settlement, or it could be positive, and maybe some other things you've had to work on, whether it be studies, work, culture, accommodation. You mentioned weather and kinship, because you may have the ability to go out and speak with others, but somebody else may not. So, could you speak to that, and both of you? Do you want to go, Swapnil or Vidhi? Who wants to go first?
Yeah, Swapnil is
Vidhi?
first because
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So, during my studies in Humber College, I actually had an opportunity to collaborate with my with my peers, who were from different backgrounds actually. So I got a sense of how actually the education in Canada is, and why is it well known, and why people do fly in Canada. It's not like just Asians or Indians who are flying to Canada. There are people from different backgrounds, different cultures, different traditions who are coming to Canada. So, of course, like if someone is coming, there is something different, right? So I got an opportunity to get in touch with them. The experience which I got from the problem solving skills, like the assessments and the time management skills. This is what we learn in different stakes of life. The time management is when you get a corporate job and when you have to manage time with your family, with your work, and your personal life. The education over here gave us that same opportunity. Like we got to do our assignments on time. We have lectures on time. Then Canada is allowing part-time work for the international students. That is actually a boon. So you get to know how actually life works at a very early stage of life, so that you can make some good decisions or whatever it might be. Also attending the virtual events. I used to join many social groups to get in touch, because I feel like during college period you get to network a lot with a lot of people. If you're working in corporate, you know it's going to be a 9 to 5 job. Everyone's in that schedule, so no one is actually free like in between 9 to 5. So making new network and making new connections in corporate world is it's little bit hard enough, but inter college.
It's cutting out a little bit, Swapnil. I want to make sure we're hearing everything that you're saying. A little bit cutting out.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit the same, but we'll do our best. Let's, if you could repeat maybe the last 2 sentences, and we can make sure that we heard.
So, should and social hosting.
Yeah,
Yes.
just cutting out. Sorry. Just cutting out a little bit there. I wonder if we can come back to you. Yeah, and then I'll have Vidhi speak for a moment, and then maybe, I don't know, we can.
Yeah, sure, no
Does that
problem.
work? And then we'll kind of bounce off
Because
each other.
Swapnil has maybe network problem, so we can't hear you clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just at this moment.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure that out. And so, Vidhi, then yourself, what are some of the challenges? We can go back to Swapnil in a moment. And
Yeah.
I think there are probably, and I know for a fact that there are.
Actually, I can't face too much problem in this world, because it's just 6 months and I just started to um look around the area. And yes, the language, first is the language barrier over here, because every people know the 2 to 3 languages, like many people speak in English and French mostly, so many times we confusing to what they say. And second is the housing problem in the Canada, because when you going to find a rental or the own house, so it's very difficult to find over here. Maybe because of the too much people, I can't know about that, but yes. And now time the interest rate is high, so many people find the difficulty to find the rental house and everything. And yeah, also the weather is very different over here, and especially in the snow we face many problem in the snow, because of the lack of uh, lack of public service and buses, right? Yeah, but maybe in the city area you can't problem with the public service, maybe I can't know about that. But yes, and for the homesickness is very difficult. Every day you feel like alone, and when you have the work from home, you face very much homesickness you feel, because no one is around you, and you just work with on your laptop and just see you and your work. So it's very difficult to manage both things in this country. Yeah.
And I think that, again, anywhere where people travel, that's the thing, that homesickness.
Yeah, travel is very difficult for people who come as a student, because they can't afford the car in the first month. So in the many area, public face the public transportation service.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because there's a honeymoon period
Yeah.
Yeah, right. When any place you go, right? It's like the
Yeah.
first month can be, oh, yeah, okay, this is fun. And then that homesickness can set in, when you're alone with yourself and your own thoughts.
Yes.
The food, everything is changing, the weather, yeah, everything. So it can really play a lot on your mental health and your physical health as well, too. Right.
Exactly.
So, finding strategies for sure. And, connecting with other people. And, you mentioned language, and I always find it interesting because, your language is fantastic and your skill level is great. But it's often the street language that people are using when they speak as opposed to formal language.
Yes.
Formal language you've academically studied, right? But the street language is you have to live it and be a part of the, in society to pick up the informal
Yeah, but
language.
the good thing is here is okay, you can speak whatever you can. People can't face anything, and no one can laugh on you.
No.
If you are not in good in English, no one can judge you, right? So
Yeah.
it's good to hear.
Yeah, no, that's a nice thing to share.
Yeah.
Actually, it really is. And having working in the language field for many years as well, myself,
Yeah.
beginner to advanced, visitors and non-visitors, staying. And I'm just going to let Swapnil enter in there. Yeah, and I think it's really important to reference that because a beginner experience as opposed to advanced is very, very different. But most of the people coming into Canada, have a certain level of language
Hmm.
that they would have studied, and sometimes better grammatically.
Yeah. Now many people see the problem in the find job.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because in this time, I also find that problem actually.
Mhm.
Um, Nowadays, it is very difficult to find your particular job, what you need to do. It's
Mhm.
very hard to find.
Yes, for sure. And I think, when I first met Swapnil, we were just talking about customer service
Yeah.
and the work that you were doing at the time. And, because you're, internet, we're allowed to work here, but it's not a field of study that you're working in.
Yeah.
Correct, Swapnil? Um, so I don't know if you can hear me okay, just coming back in. So, where you're currently working and, and we have customer service challenges sometimes,
Yeah.
it may not necessarily be the field of study that we wanted to work in, but we have to work in it because it's helping to pay our rent and such. So, just finding those challenges. So now how's your volume there? Let's check that out if we can, and love to have you enter into the conversation.
I'm sure I'm pretty much audible now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sound good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Yeah. Technically,
That's what it's all about, rising to the occasion, what you're doing and we are doing. We're going with the flow. And so you were speaking before, and we kind of had to cut you off a little bit because we couldn't quite hear everything. Do you want to reference any of that you were speaking of before?
just
To your family,
Yeah.
just get virtually connected.
Yeah.
That's actually gonna help you to overcome your mental health. And if you're feeling lonely or isolated, just make friends, make connections, grow yourself.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. No, make friends, make connections, and grow yourself. But leaving your mind open to those, So no, that's very fair. So as far as in work and your, have you found any language challenges at all? Just out of curiosity.
Uh,
You speak wonderfully, and I just wonder if there's ever, we were just talking about, I don't know if you were here at the time, street language as opposed to academic language, right? Very different. And
Oh.
formal presentations as opposed to, hey, what's happening? What's going on? A little bit more chill language.
That's good.
It can be
So
different.
I've seen many languages in Canada. Actually, when I was working, my colleague was from Philippines,
Oh,
so
yeah.
she actually helped me learning Tagalog as one of the
Oh, yeah,
language.
Kamusta ka?
Any
Yeah.
any people from Philippines, kumusta ka?
Yes, yeah.
And like I many different languages. And like back in India, I've heard French is one of the language that is that you should. When I came to Toronto, I didn't feel it that way. Toronto has like even everyone in Toronto speaks English, so very uh, French. But I've heard of Montreal, Cuba, uh, learned
It's cutting out a little bit there. I apologize. I want to make sure I'm hearing everything. But yes, as French, not necessarily used as much, but more, if you're working in the government field, or, trade and that kind of thing, you could use it for your work, right? And certainly French language training can be different. You can be getting Parisian French, or you can get Quebecois French. Depends on, where you're doing your business, kind of thing. So, but, I think you probably both have a few languages. I think you have. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's impressive. I don't know. Not everyone can say that. So that's very helpful in your fields of study and in fields of work that you do.
Yes.
Your diversity and your and working through adversity as well, right? Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Then I guess, sort of because we're talking about mental health awareness and how important that is to youth in general, but also for Bell Let's Talk, which is the underscore of connect, create, and engaging a youth in our community. And thank you to Moksha Canada Foundation for allowing us to be here for that as well. So we're connecting, we're engaging, and we're creating opportunities for a platform for you to share your experiences with those that may be feeling isolated and such. And you're both such positive guest speakers, really, and I thank you for that. And for anybody that out there is feeling isolated and such, but please reach out to community and resources, because you never know what's around the corner for you, and that one person can turn over a new experience for you, or can highlight a new experience for you that maybe just open up your future, and vice versa too. You can be sharing of yourself to others that you would never have thought that would be valuable to the person that you're sharing that with. So we urge you to do that and seek out resources in the community and platforms like this that allow you to speak and share. So how important is it to balance your mental health in the areas of challenge? You didn't reference a lot of challenge that you've had, but, let's just say we'll talk about weather, for example. If you don't address those, some of the problems that we could run into, but how important is it for you personally? And let's go with Swapnil if we can. Give you a moment to speak there.
So balancing mental health, staying outside your comfort zone is very important. That's actually one of the key point in your life that you should learn. And the so how Indians are like, they are very family oriented. They stay with the family for most of the part of the time, around like 24% of your lifespan. You spend that with your family, staying with your mommy, papa, you like the mother, father. But you're coming out to Canada, leaving your comfort zone, leaving your friends, creating new friends, new memories. So of course there's a slight difference, and you can feel the mental health differences into an individual. Talking in the terms, everyone has one or two or many different breaking points.
Yeah.
And that's actually a point where you are about to break down, and you think of going back to your home country, or going back somewhere else, or just traveling, or just moving here and there. So just go with the flow, stay on to the path, and just overcross your breaking point. Because if you go down, or if you feel like this point, I am done, I cannot do anything else, I have time to let my go somewhere else. So during that time, make sure you think about the future, because everything are to be determined at a certain age. Like education, it is meant to be under 30s. It's not the law or any physics law or something else. But yeah, learning like people do study at the age of 60, 65. That's not wrong.
Mhm.
But whatever you gain, whatever specified field you are destined to, like let's suppose for me, it's actually events. So if I start doing something at the age of 50, 55, for me, my health is deteriorating. I have, because my entire life, 50% of my lifespan, I was into something that actually deteriorated my life. Now I'm not capable of thinking that much. So during that time, doing this kind of tedious work can let your mental health go down. So start doing things that are right at that moment to maintain your mental health. That is what I'll suggest.
And referencing age, before we jump over to Vidhi there, I work with a gentleman who's an actor, but he was also a scientist and part of the not COVID, but polio vaccination team. He's 93 years old. He still acts on stage and he does voice work and such. But there you go. His career was a researcher. His career was finding, with a team of people, a cure for polio. But he also moved on to other things in theater and performing in his life. To keep his mind active and and such later in life, using different skills, right? But yeah, you just never know. You never know where life takes you in your journey. But no, very key, I think, and just press on, I guess, so to speak, if you can, and finding tools to help you press on. Vidhi, would you mind jumping into the conversation there? And how important is it to balance your mental health? And
Yeah.
you have those areas of challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mental health is very important in Canada because you live alone with your partner, and many people come here as a student, so they have many problem with the loneliness and homesickness. So yes, health is very important here. So when as Swapnil said that we come here and many times you think that no, we go and go back to our home country. Yeah, I also faced that problem in that 6 months actually.
Yeah.
Not many months. So yeah, when you balance your mental health, yeah, for my experience, work what you like. When you depressed, work what you like I like the creating something new in the cooking and eat new items. So whenever I feel depressed, I cook and item that I like to eat, and just enjoy with the weather.
Mhm.
And yes, um, the making friend is very important, because when you feel the feel homesickness and all, when you meet your friends, you can share your point with them, and you can enjoy everybody's life, and you can also share your life problems and everything, and you get the answer from them also. Because when you share your problems with another people, they can also know about your points, and they try to solve our problems. So yes, friends are very important here. And when you have too much problem with the whole things, just think about your future, what you do in your life and why you come here. When you think about that, you definitely get the answer why you come here, and you actually fresh feel when you know about, yes, your future is bright when you over here and do work what you like, and just um, sorry, just go around and looking people how they are spend their life. Because I say many people over here, they have age like you say 70 or 80, still they enjoy their life with the walking, with the meet their loved ones, and share their problems, share their daily life routine. And when I go in the gardens, I see many people with the different age, they play around, play together, and just happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because no one know about what is coming on tomorrow. Just
Mhm.
feel about today and just enjoy your life, so you just relax from your mentally. And yes, the that girl with the Windsor University, the Nicole, right? We
Oh,
just
yes.
had the conversation with her. Yeah, she is amazing in the that phase, because she inspire us to doing whatever you like in your life. Just do, no one can judge you, right? That point is a very important thing when you feel the depression and whatever. Just think about that and live your life.
Mhm.
It's very easy.
Wow, and listening to both of you, you're just so inspiring. And, when you're referencing Nicole, I know she would love to hear that. We have her on as a guest
Yeah.
speaker for another panel we're doing
Yes,
again,
Nicole
because
is very very good girl.
that's
Yeah,
amazing. And yourself
yeah,
as well, because you're shining the light. And,
yeah,
you're both referencing that life begins today, right? And that's I think I get that from both of you, that's how you get up every day, that life begins today. And then that's your sort of your touch point, your launch point from
yeah.
there.
Because many people face the today's many people face the finding job and they depressed. Why we are here? We can't find the job and all. Just wait. You can find best in your life. Just wait and enjoy your time. You
Mhm.
can find the best you can. Yes. Just enjoy your life and go through the way you can. You
Mhm.
can just step easily as the way you go,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, from one point to the next, A
True,
to
Yeah,
B
actually.
to C.
Actually, just overcome your breaking point.
yeah,
For students, it's actually finding job. For work permit holders, it's actually getting PR,
yeah,
apply for PR. So that is the breaking point. Like you apply, and you feel like, oh shit, this is not working. I think I should go back. So just stay calm, stay relaxed.
Mhm.
Just get over your problems, and everything is going to come into your hand. So
Mhm.
stay calm.
And continue to build your portfolio, right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
networking is so key. Get those references from experiences that you've had, and just keep adding to your portfolio so it just shines the light on you and what you have to offer. Right. But overcoming your breaking point for sure. Because as you said, everybody has a breaking point, and learning those strategies. Maybe your former self at 14 or 15 would not have known those strategies, but you have learned those strategies by all of these experiences that have brought you here today to this conversation. So, no, that's really interesting. I think so. I'm just looking down at a couple of more questions, but I think the positive experiences you've somewhat talked about. If there's any funny references or funny things you'd like to share, just about, wow, that was just funny. I never knew that, or I had this great experience with such and such. Is there anything that you could share for our listeners and viewers? Uh, Over the time, like I guess a shorter period for you, Vidhi, being here, but
yeah.
for Swapnil over a 2 year period,
So
and
like
especially
there
during
have
COVID.
been many experiences actually, like which actually shook our mind. Um,
Yeah.
the prima facie, what I can say is the perception that I had for Canada, like the life and the people. I was quite nervous with everything. How is it going to be, and how is it going to work or no? But actually, Canada has been treating so good. Like it is actually good. Like sometimes I do break down. Sometimes it's very hard to get over some things. Um, uh, in my course, there was a thing co-op, that is the internship that you have to do, and it was compulsory. But in many other colleges, it's quite optional. You can do it. It's on you if you want to do it or
Oh.
no. But yeah, getting internship and having that experience of a corporate life for me, say 4 months, that actually, because back in India, I never did a corporate job. So over here, I gave it myself a fresh start, entering into the industry and all. So, like, actually, this was mesmerizing. The country has been treating good, and whatever I felt like, it's coming up. It's falling into my plate. Like even I'm giving time to everything. So this was different. Like my sub perception, what I had, and what now the things are going on. It's actually good. Like it's
Amazing.
not that funny, but it's actually when you feel it,
Yeah.
you feel the
Yeah.
difference.
Interesting.
When you
Yeah.
feel it's look like a happy because it happened with you, right? So yeah,
And the newcomers, this country is very big. Okay, it is legitly very big. Okay, Canada itself has its 9 or 11 provinces. I'm not sure with the number,
Uh-huh.
but every province has its own speciality. Okay,
yes.
every province is totally different. We have a US border which is very nearby from Toronto. You get direct access to New York, you get direct access to Buffalo, Niagara Falls. So, like the scenic beauty. Like these are different things one can explore over here. And once you leave the big cities, would say like Toronto, Vancouver, when you give like 100 kilometer space from these big countries, you see some countryside locations like a house in a big area, big field. Over here we see buildings, right? But once you leave Toronto, once you start going to Waterloo, or once you start going to Sarnia, London, over there the road are full with scenic beauties. Like you get to see a wildscape of greenery everywhere. So this is something new. Like this we never experienced, and we thought like Canada is like a very developed nation, and it is like it's full of buildings and like apartments and condos. But over here you find buildings and you find houses, both of it at the same time. Just giving some gap. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Since
Yes.
Yeah, I remember my grandparents actually saying that they never wanted to stay here, but they were just like, oh, it's just so there's a lot of farmland, there's a lot because they were from the big city and such, but they loved it. They never stayed, but they did love it. And when they came to visit and such, but yeah, very much so. And the provinces are very different, and embracing that is wonderful. The individuality of each province is very cool, and even just the waterways, unbelievable. We have so much, it's neat, very diverse. Yeah. And Vidhi, you were going to say to jump in? Yeah.
Because I don't have too much experience here, and I don't have too much time to explore the Canada. But yes, as a Swapnil say, every um, city has their own beauty. Like many places, we can see the wildlife and the greenery and the nature. Yes, over here when I'm living, we also see the scenery whenever you go, just road between the scenery, so it's very beautiful.
Wow. And you'll see many more, and you can invite others to come and see
Yeah,
and
maybe
visit.
in the fall we can see the many things in one time, right? I don't think, but yes, I can
Yeah,
see.
like like if you divide a year into quarters, every quarter is totally different over here. Let's assume like the January to April, you see the whitest thing everywhere, like the snow and all. But jumping down to April to September, you see sunny side. You see many festivals, many concerts happening over here. People coming out. I never saw so many people onto the roads during
Oh,
winters. But yeah, summers you have every day there's an event, there's celebration going on, there are parades, there are different festivals that run around in Canada. Jumping to the September to December period, the third quarter, I mean, the third part, where you see the difference in the leaves. Okay, the trees who were green turns yellow, they turn red, the leaves shed off. You have a different temperature, like it's on like the fall temperature, the spring weather.
Yeah.
So every quarter, everything is totally different, and you get to experience everything in a year. So that is actually a very good thing.
It is actually, yeah, diverse. And it's interesting because October can be a depressing month for people because of the darkness and
Yes,
such,
yes.
but finding
The
strategies
daylight saving.
yeah. Finding strategies to overcome those is very, very important for sure. You've both just been wonderful guests to speak with, and I wonder if we could have one final question, words of wisdom, for anybody listening or tuning in who may want to go on this journey or who may be on the journey. And just looking for, positivity. You've shared a lot of positivity, but any words of wisdom, final comments for our listeners or viewers? And it could be just from you personally, it could be professionally, as newcomers, as new settlers, visitors. Yeah.
So, um, these like I'll start off. I'll shoot off with some points. That's it. Like those would be my words of wisdoms in a pointer basis. You can say.
Yeah.
First of all, I'll say you embrace the diversity of Canada. Okay. Just go with the flow and just explore the diverse part of the Canada. Stay open minded. Uh, you network and get connect. Learn about the Canadian culture and just be patient.
Yeah. And I see that over here people are very polite and humble, and whenever you go anywhere, people say sorry, thank you about nothing happened with you, but yeah, they say the sorry, please, thank you. Yeah, it's very funny actually. I see, but yeah, people are very polite and humble. Yeah,
Love it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Actually, I love also that thing that you um say the thank you with people who get who do help with the minor thing, and you and they say okay, thank you. Oh, it's very nice.
Yeah. It can be
Yeah,
kind
and
of
also you learn the many things in Canada because the here is the multicultural, as Swapnil say, because when you l- live in the Toronto, like Toronto downtown or anywhere, you can find the people like Gujarati, Hindi, Punjabi, and many people you find there, and you can also join them and their culture. So you find many things in one country. So this is very beautiful over here.
love that.
You experience multicultural in one country.
It's very cool, and it's the
Yeah.
window to the world, right? Yeah, very, very much so. And that to me, that is life, right? That's the beauty of life,
Mm.
100%. So, I want to thank you both for being here and part of this conversation and uplifting us today with your knowledge and sharing your experiences for Bell Let's Talk, Youth Connections Cafe. I want to do a shout out to Bell Let's Talk, but also to Moksha Canada Foundation for allowing us to be here today on this platform. We're all about engaging, connecting, and creating opportunities for our youth. And we encourage you to follow us on social media, give us a like and share with your friends, and follow our future programming for other things upcoming. And we really do look forward to hearing from you. So thank you so much to our guests, Swapnil and Vidhi, for shining light on this conversation and shining light on life.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.